Hi comic book fans, and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video. And I am going to be doing my 10 comics that I think could go up in value in the next 12 months. Yep, it's that time of the month again. I think this is my 7th or 8th of these, so not too long to wait before I can review and see how successful my first pick was. Right, okay, so my 10 comics this week. Right, now the first one I picked up about 2 weeks ago. I actually bought 3 copies. They were £5 each, but I think you might struggle, so I'm going to record this because I paid £5 for this 2 weeks ago. And this was following a heads up from my mate Alan, who pointed out to me that this was the first comic appearance of Grogu. Yes, I will put an image up here. I'll scan it. He appears in a crowd scene with loads of other characters. It's a great scene. I will put the image up when I've scanned it. However, you might struggle to get this for £5 now because it appeared on Comic Tom. The guy who was selling these, I think he had about 10 copies, but he's obviously sold them all. I should have bought all 10. I actually bought 3. I sent one to Alan in Canada. So there we go. My first pick, Die, Robert Kirkman. It's issue number 14, and it's the first comic book appearance of Baby Yoda. Right, next up, and this is just some Mark Millar Spec. I binged watched Super Crooks on Netflix. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's sort of a bit like Invincible. It's a sort of anime version. Enjoyed that. So Netflix bought the rights to all of the sort of Mark Millar properties. One of the Mark Millar, so then my second pick is a Mark Millar series called Nemesis. And this is Nemesis number 1. And, you know, who knows? we might get an announcement in the next year that this is going to appear on Netflix. Maybe we won't. So, you know, this is a spec video. If it was certain, it wouldn't really be spec, would it? Anyway, that's my second pick, Nemesis number 1 by Mark Millar. Right, my third pick is a bit of Rocketeer spec. So it was announced last year that there was potentially going to be a new Rocketeer movie. So, you know, in a year's time, that might have got closer. So my pick this time for this is it's from Eclipse Comics. It's the Rocketeer Special Edition 1, and also going for this is it's got a really nice Dave Stevens cover on it. There's also sort of like 6 sort of poster artworks in the back of this comic as well. So a really nice comic to pick up and good spec for a potential new Rocketeer movie. Right, now we've got a couple with the same character in, because I think this character is currently undervalued and could get hot. So my next spec is oh, sorry, I didn't say what that one is. That one will set you back £5 to £10, that one. And these prices are all based on eBay solds. Nemesis will cost you between £8 and £15. I could only find 2 sales. One was £8, one was £15. Right, the next one up is Madame Xanadu. This is Madame Xanadu number 6. Is a variant cover by Frank Quietly. and on it we have got both Madame Xanadu and Death from Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. So this is, in my view, we're getting both Sandman and Madame Xanadu, so I think this is good spec. Last one of these sold for £30. So we're talking all these at the moment, I'm talking high grade raw. So high grade raw, one of these will probably cost you £30. I think in a year or so it might cost you more than that. These are not easy to find. I don't think there was a big print run of this. So you might struggle to find one of these. But if you do, you should pay about £30. Right, now it's Death again. One of my favourite Sandman characters. And this is an interesting one. I only just discovered this myself recently. And this is Action Comics 894. And this is the first appearance of Death in mainstream DC universe. Okay, so I think it is a bit of a key comic. I just recently bought this and I've looked on eBay. You could probably get this for between £25 and £30 high grade raw. I would get this before we see some more Sandman appearing on our TV screens, or indeed before Death appears in the TV series. I think all things Death could get quite hot. Right, now next up, this is a bit of spec for the upcoming Batman film, which I think is in March, so it's not that far away. Now, the director said that one of the comic series he based the movie on was Batman Year One. Now, we're not getting the origin story of Batman again, but we are getting Batman meeting Catwoman. We've also getting Carmine Falcone, and we are also getting what's his name? Officer Stanley Merkel. Right. Now, the first appearance of Carmine Falcone and the first mainstream DC Universe appearance of Officer Stanley Merkel is in this comic here, which is the second part of Batman Year One. Okay, so both those first appearances in here, and they're both appearing in the new Batman film. Both of the roles have been cast. And you can pick this up for a tenner. So I think this is good spec. Right, next up, and I've seen one of these sold for £1 recently. I paid about £5 for mine. So you can pay. This next one is between £1 and £5, and it's on nobody's radar. Okay, and this is a Gru comic. It's Gru number 29. Now, Gru has been optioned for a TV series, which I really hope is going to happen. If it does, this is a key comic for Gru. Yes, why is it a key comic? Because it is the first appearance of Gru's dog, Roferto. Now, he's not on the cover. I will put a picture of Roferto here when I do the edit. Okay, it's Gru's dog, and this is his first appearance, and it's nobody's specking on this apart from me. Okay, so I recommend, if you're a Gru fan and you want a cheap Gru key, Gru number 29 from Marvel. Right, now next up, so this is an artist pick. There's an artist called Carla Cohen, who appeared on last week's The Killer Comic Show. She was great. She's classically trained. She's French, but she lives in Italy. She lives in Florence. She's a classically trained artist. And I've picked up some Carla Cohen covers because I think they're undervalued at the moment. So my recommendation here is really Carla Cohen. Now, one of the earliest Carla Cohen covers that I could find was this one, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, #1, and you can go and buy this from Scott's. It's on UK eBay and is I think there's 4 available at £13. So if you want one of these, you can go and get it for £13. I think in a year's time you'll have to pay more than £13 for this Carla Cohen cover. If you don't know Carla Cohen, I suggest you go and Google her and look at some of her artwork. It is fantastic. Right, next up, it's a bit of Shazam spec. So this one is going to cost you a bit more. This is in a CGC 9.8. This is Shazam #1. So this is the first Captain Marvel, as it says here, the original Captain Marvel. It's the first appearance since the Golden Age in DC Comics. So this is from 1973. DC dropped the ball and lost the name Captain Marvel to Marvel. So which is why it is now referred to as Shazam all the time. But they did buy the rights to all the Fawcett comics, including the original Captain Marvel. So they put out this comic in 1973, having bought the rights to Fawcett Comics. Okay, in a CGC 9.8, this will cost you 700 quid, $1,000. I'm not recommending that. I'm recommending you go out and buy a high grade raw like I did. So this one cost me £40. There's one on eBay, I think, for around this sort of price, looking like high grade raw. So that's my next pick. We've got to go and buy a high grade raw Shazam #1, around about £40. Okay, right, the next one, you might complain this is a bit of a cheat. So who is going to be the next Black Panther? For a long time, people thought it was going to be Shuri, but they sort of had all sorts of shenanigans with the actress, so I don't think it is going to be Shuri anymore. And the latest speculation is that it's going to be M'Baku. And one of the reasons people are speculating on that is because the actor who played M'Baku, Winston Duke, has just signed a new contract with Marvel and he's going to play quite a big role in the next 3 or 4 years. I think it's possible he could be the next Black Panther. Okay, but this is spec again. I mean, people spec'd on Shuri, and all those Shuri books probably are losing value now. So my next pick is the first appearance of M'Baku. It's also the first appearance of the guy in the movie who was originally T'Challa's best friend, W'Kabi. So he's an outside chance, I suppose. And this comic contains both of them, and it is Avengers #62. Now, I always like to have the comics when I'm speccing them. And this is a bit of a cheat because I do not have an Avengers 62. I am stalking one on eBay, but I do have the Alan Class reprint. This is Uncanny Tales #71. Okay, now the Avengers 62 in a 9.8 is like about $6,000. Okay, so I'm not advising that because that's a bit pricey. But you can get a sort of mid-grade, ungraded copy for about £70 to £80. Or, like me, you could buy an Uncanny Tales 71. However, I don't know how much you'd pay for one of these because there's none on eBay and there's none on eBay sold listings either. I got mine when I bought a whole load of Alan Classes in a big lot from a charity shop. And this one was in it. But there are no historical sales of this on eBay and there's none currently available. So potentially this is actually rarer than Avengers 62. So my recommendation, and what is Avengers 62 mid-grade, a 4.55, cost you about 70 to 80 pounds. First appearance of M'Baku. Right, this is, of course, I point this out each time, this is spec. This is my opinion of what could go up in the next 12 months. They could all go down. I will review this in 12 months' time to see how my picks have done. Enough said.